Welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter Mokri, a Dallas-based DP and Gaffer, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to light up this scene right here using an assortment of battery-powered lights, from matte lights to tube lights, puck lights, and even mini cob lights. Now, you may have some of these lights in your kit, or you could always pick some up from Amazon or B&H. Most of the time, you could find inexpensive alternative brands to save you some money. Now, I'm gonna walk you through this lighting setup, and I'm also gonna show an alternative setup using these same lights in the same space so you could utilize them in ways that you feel are best. Sometimes adding a light, taking away a light can really change the look, and that's what it comes down to, having fun and testing things out to get the results you need. So let's get into it. Now, this is proper lighting. Just kidding. It is the light that's in the space. So we do have a light bulb that's above me, and it is just your plain Jane light bulb. It's spreading everywhere. It's giving terrible shadows on my eyes, but we will motivate our lights from the light that's above, because in the space, that's how it naturally is happening, right? You're in a garage, a lot of times lights are overhead. Your light isn't usually coming in from underneath, so we're not going to light from underneath. We also have these green lights over here, and they're from my batteries that are charging for my power tools, and we'll use that as motivation as well when we light some of the stuff in the scene. So let's go ahead and turn off the overhead lights, and then we're going to build up everything one by one. So we'll start with the Amaran F22C, which is our key light. So some people may just like this look. You have one light, it turns on, it's the key light, it's gridded, and we have it set to 5% in this space. So this is what it looks like when I'm looking straight ahead, and this is what it looks like when I'm looking off to the side as if I was doing an interview and kind of looking this way, and that's the look that we have going on. So the next thing I'd like to add is, let's add an edge over here, and that's going to be an Godox MS60R, and it's creating an edge light, and it has just a little bit of warmth to it that we're adding, and that's just right there catching the edge of me. So we have an edge light. So we have the edge light, that's looking good, but this light here seems a bit sourcey because it's just, you know, it's the only thing really lighting me. So let's go ahead and jump back and try an Amaran light. So I have some tubes overhead, and it's the Amaran T4C tube, and I'm going to fire it up, and I'm going to use the one that has, let's start with just the bare one on its own and see what it does. So that's the bare Amaran T4C tube. There's no modification to it, and it gives us a good spread, but I'm going to switch over. I actually like it with the grid a little bit better, so it doesn't spill so much back there, because you can see right now there's a lot of spill happening on the actual workbench. So I'm going to swap them and turn this one off, and then there we go. So there's a lot more control, but now we have a spread of light. The table's lit up a little bit more, and it doesn't seem like it's really blasting me, being super crazy sourcey, which is nice. So that comes into play. So if you don't like how dark everything is behind you, you can always go with something to just bring up the room levels. And right behind me, tucked away, is another Godox MS60R, and it's going to just bring up the room level. So let's see what that looks like. And that just lights up the whole space. Everything's lit up. And that could be the look that you're going for. I mean, it is just spreading back there. It's nice and bright. That may be it, but you know what? I don't know. It may be a little too much. So let's go ahead and remove it. And let's go ahead and add something and some visual interest right here in the background. We have green lights already. So let's go ahead and fire up some green lights. So we're going to go to these guys here and see if they fire up. And now we have some green lights in the background. So you can see that they're getting just kind of casted onto the toolbox. It amplifies them a lot more, but now we're kind of falling flat in this world here. It's just really dark there, but we're growing. It's starting to build up, and this got brighter because of the spill coming off those MCs. So it's giving a little bit more life to the space. So let's go ahead and add some red. why not? So now we have some red there, and that kind of gives a cool look. So got some red going on there, and we could stop at this look. We could be like, you know what? This is exactly what we want. It's looking good. It's just enough. We still have that edge hitting me right here. We have an amazing key light hitting us, and we have that from above. But what if I remove that key light? Let's see what it looks like. Let's just give it a look and just have this overhead. That's a little too moody, I think. You're losing the eyes, you're losing everything, but that may be a look you're going for. And depending on what you're doing, if someone's working on something in the space, that could be a look that you're going for. It may fit overall, but I like having the key light on. It's nice. And we could always take down the intensity if it's too bright, if we don't like it, if we want to dim it down. Use false color or zebras as guidance and even EL zone. But it's not a rule. You could have it look dark. Everything doesn't have to be perfectly exposed. Like when you're in a night scene, it doesn't need to be high bright on the face. That's not necessarily what you need. So now I'm thinking we're lacking something right there. I just wanted to have fun with it and kind of take it to the next level. So we're going to introduce another MS60R with a projection mount, and that's it right there. So now you have the blue mixing in with the red, creating kind of a purple pinkish gradient, which is really cool. Now this is very stylized and maybe a bit too much, but you know what? That may be the look you're going for, and it may be fun. You know, if it's a YouTube channel that you're doing, you may be doing something that's sci-fi, something that's exciting. Imagine you're in a lab and something's getting worked on, or you're creating something. It's fun. You know, use light to help tell your story, be creative and push it. Now, I have this light right here, which is really cool. I'm going to fire it up. And now we have a little bit of glow, and we have a nice practical in play. You could use it for many different things, but I think it adds a little bit of fun to the space. So now we have that look. So that's our V1 look overall. But what if we wanted to change everything up and go with something else? So I want you to comment down below and let me know which look you like. Do you like the version 1 look, V1? You could say, I like the look with more color, or do you want to go with a warm tungsten vibe? So let's go ahead and fire that guy up right now and see how that looks. And everything's switching now. Did everything switch? Yes, it worked. So now we have more of a moody vibe. You can see you're losing a little bit in my eyes. It's not as bright, but this may be the look you're going for. Someone could be working on a project. The lighting is set up just right. You're getting a little glow from here. They could be doing some woodworking. You could be getting different angles. And now this has a totally different look. The lights didn't change locations. They weren't moved around. They were still in the same spot, but you can see how changing the colors, changing the intensity can change the look and kind of portray something else. This seems totally different than if we switch back to our V1 look and everything has a little more color, a little more pop. The light is a little cleaner on me. And when I say cleaner, I'm talking about it's cooler, more clinical, but it really comes down to what you want. So let me know down in the comments which of the two you like best. But before we get any further, let's go ahead and take a quick tour and show you everything that's going on in this space. Oh, and before we get in there, let's just do that ceiling light real quick and see what it does. Oh, it brightens it up in here. This is another look too. So there's actually 4 looks. We have version 1, version 2, and each of those with that ceiling overall fill light to just bring up the levels. So let's go ahead and take a quick tour of the space. So right here, we're going to start off with our tubes, and we have the bare Amaran T4C. I have it set up here, and then we have the T4C set up with a grid, and that gave us 2 options. I didn't like the spill that was coming off the bare bulb, so I went ahead and put the grid on it. And now the next thing we have is our key light, which is our Amaran F22C. We are at very low output on this guy. Right now, we are set to a total of, I think it was 5%. Everything is battery powered. We have the T4Cs, they're battery powered. If we come over here, you can see my edge light right here. So this is my edge, and this is the Godox MS60R. And it is attached with a cardellini to this stand. And then we have our projector mounted MS60R, and you can see it's cutting that blue light right there, and it's doing it just so perfectly where it's catching the edge of everything we have here, but not spilling onto here. So you can see here, if I kind of come in, you see the green here, and then you see the blue catching there. So it gives you a lot of control using a projector. They're really fun. Sometimes if you needed to just, oh, I just want to light this one little square up, you can cut it where it only lights that up. So if you have a dark spot, you can light it up. Now these MCs, they just magnetize in there. Perfect to set up. I have them set to like 5% so they can run a very long time. And then we have the red over here, which these are popped in. So we have 4 right here, 4 over here, which is really a lot of fun. So next thing I want to do is I'm going to fire up the Hazer and see how everything looks with the Hazer in this space. Let's check it out. All right, here we go. 3, 2. Now that's some Haze. So what does Haze do? It adds atmosphere. It gives light a little glow. It softens the skin. It just kind of helps out a lot. But you've got to be careful because now this light here is creating a very visible shaft of light, and that may not play well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that guy off. So are you team Haze or no Haze? So this is the V1 look right here with Haze. You can see that we're actually getting a little bit brighter back here in the background. And the reason is it's just like if you have a foggy day and you're driving your car and you turn on your lights and they just don't seem to be reaching that far. Well, there's a lot of particulates in the air that are catching that light. And you can even see it in here. There's a little bit of a glow happening. So that means that the space is going to be more lit up, but that may not be something that you're looking for. But I really like it because it shows there's a light right there. It could be a practical and it's creating that glow, which motivates that edge. So I do like it. Let's try the V2 look and see what it looks like and see how it plays out for us here. And this is the V2 look. I'm gonna make sure the bench is set to the right color. So now we have the warm overall look, and there's a rogue light back there. Oh my goodness. Let's make sure we're on the V2 look back there, and if it will switch it up. All right, there was a red one that still stayed on. So what do you think of this look? It kind of has a warm glow to it, and it is glowing because of the Haze. So it really comes down to your preference. Now what's really cool about testing lights out and playing and just learning from them is it gives you the ability to just have some fun. And if you don't like something, you know what? Test it out and try it out. And that's what I really enjoy about this channel is the community that we have here, people commenting, supporting the channel, giving their insight. When I do breakdowns like this and I say, hey, what do you think of this setup? What do you think of this? People give some amazing feedback, and that keeps me going. It really motivates me. The positive comments I get from people, the likes, the shares, and even all the subscribers really motivate me to keep pushing out fun content like this. And guess what? I'm learning just as much from you guys as you're learning from me, and I love to share that information with you. So if you want to be a fan of the channel and you want to keep supporting us, hey, just click like, subscribe, do all that nonsense, whatever it takes. YouTube also says that you're required to click one of these videos over here. They said if you don't, they're likely going to shut down the channel and demonetize me, put everything private, and just it's game over. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if I'm making it up. I'll let you decide. But thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.